Hello everyone. We'll be playing some Minecraft today, or in this stream. Today too, I guess, but in this stream specifically, I'll be playing some Minecraft. So, the Mounts of Mayhem comes out, like, tomorrow. But, before we do that, let's go into this creative copy of my world. I want to just think about, like, some ideas I want to share with you guys. So I was at work today and I was bored. So I was actually doing my job and everything, but I was thinking about what I could do for like some potential towns around my world. So I have a few ideas. There's one, obviously my base. I'm just gonna call it Stuffy's base or Stuffy base, maybe. I feel like it should be more like an actual town name, Stuffy base sounds pretty good, I think. Right? And then I'm gonna have Port Precious, which is gonna be on the other side of Dweller's Peak in the Warden's Range. And then I want to have Cleo's Kingdom, which is like a medieval themed town. And each one of these is gonna have their own themes. Like the one I'm thinking of doing over in this area, the spruce biome, is I'm thinking of calling it like Spruceton. Because I don't know, I really like I think the name's I don't know, Spruceton's all I could really come up with, to be fair. But I could totally like make a I can make like a spruce village over in this direction. And the benefit of doing that would be, one, I'd have a village in the spruce biome, which is cool. And two, I diversify, This isn't that far from my base location. Make the world like you? What do you mean? Velvet. You don't need to ask for my permission to make a Minecraft world, man. You just do it. But like if I made... I mean, this is right here. I could make it up here. Because you see there's like a... you can kind of see how there's like a plateau up here. This wouldn't be a bad area to make it. Part of me kind of wants it to be like inside of the in a large chunk of the spruce forest, but at the same time I don't really know. Like I can make it back here. This would be like a great area for it to be, but at the same time I don't think it's a good idea to make it over there. It's way too far away. I gotta think realistic. Like your one world that you made, you wanna let me. Well, this is the world technically. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I didn't really plan on making a world like that tonight, but I could. I'm just thinking. Like I kind of want to make. I think what I'll do is I'll make like my spruce village. I'll make it like right in here. In this decently flat area. This will be focused on bows and brewing. That makes sense. Although I kind of want to make it like in here actually. Like I kind of want it to be surrounded by spruce, Like I want to be able to look around all sides and feel spruce. Although right here would be kind of a hard place to make it because preferably it would be flat. But I need to gauge how far this really is though as well. So it's all this right here. And then we have all of this because I want to make like a railroad, okay? And I'm not gonna do it like on my other world. I'm actually going to like make this a like a long railroad. So I guess I don't know. This could be feasible if the railroad design I choose is easy. This type of village will probably be in the future. But yeah, I could totally see this working. Because this isn't that far from this isn't that far from Dweller's Peak or Stuffy's base. Or stuffy base? I don't know actually. It is that's pretty darn far. There's Dweller's Peak right there, but that is quite the distance. It's really okay. Cool, man. I will appreciate that. I mean, it's like it's close. It's super far away. I'll admit. I just don't know how I would like connect it with the railroad. It just seems like it seems not feasible just simply because of how far it is. You know, that's like the only thing I'm worried about is that it's just really far and I want to make sure I can actually reasonably build it. Like when I make Port Precious on the other side of this mountain, I have a few options. I mean, I could bore a tunnel through the mountain or I could go around, you know? There's two ways I could do this. You know, I could have it go around this side of the mountain, which is kind of flat-ish, or I could have it go through the mountain through like I don't know, this cave over here, this big old cave. I think I would probably rather do that because I mean, this is already kind of like it already gets me started, you know, like I get out here and it's already gone through, kind of. I've been in this cave before, by the way, so this isn't cheating. But yeah, I could totally do that. You know, all right, look, Velvet, if you're here, I am sorry. I'm not gonna start that world tonight, but um, I I will start it at the beginning of my winter break, which is in roughly 1.5 weeks, maybe. Um, or I'll start it when I get back from my vacation. The next time I get free time, I'll start a survival server. I'll invite you, and I'll invite a few other people. I'll set up some basic rules like no griefing. I might even turn off PvP, but I will invite you, so don't worry. If you're still here, that is. I'm also just thinking about like other towns, like Cleo's Kingdom. Where would I make that? Where should I even make that? I want it to be in like sort of a flat area, but also an area that's kind of unique-ish geography-wise. Maybe this would actually be a pretty solid area. Because in the future, this is flat enough, you know. I could put like a wall up here and then add some watchtowers, because it's on a mountain, you know, it makes sense. And it's not that far from my base either. Like it's far, but not, it's far enough, you know. It's like a ridge over. It's like imagine if this was the entrance and there was a railroad here that goes back over to my base. It would still have to be kind of a long railroad to get over there, you know? But it would have ridges to go over that would make it easy. And I could either like I could have the railroad either go around. I think realistically, if I want it to be efficient, I should probably have it go realistically, efficiency wise, it should probably go over the ridge. I can make a bridge for that too. But I think it would also look really cool if I were to make a railroad station like right down there, and then it would also go like there'd be like two paths. One would go out into to the left, or I could have a junction that would go over that way. That would be cool. I mean, it would look fine going around it. It's just it would be really inefficient because I mean I would have all my farms there, and yes, it would be very inefficient, but it'd be cool. I think what I want to do today though is not focus on that type of thing, but I want to do a few things. I want to continue expanding my farms, and I want to continue. I want to start working on my enchantment area. I don't really know what I'll do for my enchantment area. I have an idea. Oh, I remember now. trying to make sure I get all the saplings, cause well, yeah, I feel like, look, what? I would do that. Well, yeah, I wanna keep planting spruce trees, you know. Yeah, I feel like I've started to notice a cycle with the adventure camp seasons. They, at the beginning of them, this happens with All Stars and season 4. They started out really good, you know, like the writing's really good in the earlier seasons. It's fun to watch, and then after the merge, everything just goes downhill. Everything goes downhill. And if whoever's watching doesn't know what I'm talking about, you probably don't. Um, if you've ever watched Total Drama growing up, it's kind of like Adventure Camp is basically Total Drama, but a little bit more adult. And it was mainly made, I think, just because, well, the series hasn't going anywhere. Let's be honest. Hello, Ian. Thank you for gifting. Share. Oh my gosh. Popcorn. Where are they gonna get the popcorn from? No, no. Jeez, why? Why did they tie him up? You know, for a person who's just getting into the series, this is fucking insane. But it's kind of normal to me now. You kind of just have to accept that there's like some paranormal shit going on at this adventure camp. Just don't think too much about it. No, he's dead, bruh. I'm just trying to slab everything up. Honestly, I don't have much left to do. I've just gotta get more slabs, though. You know, I think I like how they have traditions. Like, there's a VR challenge in every season, and I like how they didn't reveal it in the first one, and the second one. So it made it even like a more like kind of just like what the fuck is happening, even if it's not very like. I don't know if he's a criminal necessarily, but sure. I really wish that furnaces would actually, like, I don't know. I wish furnaces, or there was a furnace that would excel in doing other things. Like maybe a hot furnace would be faster at smelting stone from cobblestone and glass from sand, you know? But they don't have that, so I don't really know what to do. I will say I really do like harvesting crops in this game. I just wish that there were some enchantments that would make it easier. Like I've seen people like propose ideas for enchantments. Really, I think the biggest problem I have with it is just like the replacing process. Because yeah, I love having these big fields of crops. That's what I'm doing, you know? I love it. But at the same time, I will say that it is quite annoying to have to replant everything. If there was a hoe enchantment that would take seeds or whatever out of your inventory, like let's say I had a bunch of carrots in there already, it would take carrots out of there and replant them for me immediately, then that would be great. But we don't have anything like that. So I'm stuck here having to um I'm stuck here having to replant every single crop by hand. And I probably have almost 1,000 different crops to place overall. So like you can imagine how annoying it is at a certain point, right? At a certain point, it becomes tiresome. You just don't want to do it anymore. And you understand what I mean. But if there's simply a crop called if there's an enchantment, I don't know, we can call it like rebound or something. Rebound doesn't really make much sense. Or maybe you can call it just something, man. Just something cool that allows you to replant your crops immediately without actually having to like replant them. That would be amazing. And maybe you can only find it rarely in villager chests or something. That way it's still like, it'll make it a hard enchantment to get, not because it's like difficult to actually get, but because you have to find it in villages. And villages are pretty common. Or maybe you find it since hoes are in ancient cities a lot, maybe you find it in ancient city chests or something. Oh, my bucket's empty. It's like, why? I'm gonna make another infinite water source like right here because I'm lazy and I don't feel like going to make another one. I'm just doing something else in the meantime, so that way my I feel bad because this is not entertaining content in the slightest, really. It's fun for me because this is stuff I really like to do. But for you guys, this is probably incredibly boring. Like, even I have to say, it is most definitely boring for a lot of people that might come into the stream. And it's okay that it's boring. It's just some people really, it's like, why would they? Like, watching me play, I've actually, like, watching people play Geometry Dash is fun. Because, especially if they're playing a level and they're trying to beat it, it's like, you never know. Maybe they're going to get a new best on stream and you'll be there for when they beat it. You never know, man. So it's kind of fun that way. This might sound like a dumb thing to say, but people like Eric Van Wilderman, he's like 40 years old and he's playing Geometry Dash, and people are, he's actually really good at the game. Like, he's beaten Bloodbath, he's beaten Sonic Wave and everything like that. And people are like, this is insane for his age. And I'm like, really? I mean, I could get it because, like, he's old, you know, he's 40, right? That is pretty impressive for someone who's 40, but he's been doing it for a long time. I mean, if anyone, like, I'm not trying to discredit him, but, like, you know, I don't think age would hold him back much. Maybe his reaction time's slower. But, I don't know. I think if you play Geometry Dash, you know, I think actually that could be beneficial playing Geometry Dash when you're that old. Because reaction times would be on point. That I'll say. You know, I've actually noticed that after working at a grocery store for so long, my reaction time has improved actually. Like, sometimes I'll catch stuff as it's falling off the shelf, and I'll feel so cool. Sometimes two things will fall, and I'll catch them both like simultaneously, like that one scene in Spider-Man where Peter catches like a bunch of stuff on a tray. I feel so fucking cool when I do that. Even if it's not like the coolest thing ever, you know, it's kind of like, but still feels like awesome. Anyways, I've yapped for a long time. I got about half of my stone smelted. All this is water. Here's the thing. I don't know necessarily if I want to get the I don't think I'm going to do the wall around this, like the edge of the crop fields. I don't think I can do that right now. I don't think I'm ready for that, you know? Well, there you have it. A lot of oxy daisies. Alright, what are you selling? I like these wandering traders are like genuinely still useless. I look, and I feel bad for them because like I don't know how you're supposed to make them good. Yeah? Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, I know. Not that my ego's big or anything. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm making great progress. How are you doing, Plasma TC Win? Yeah. YouTube, can you genuinely like suck my dick or something? Like they keep saying like, is it sleep time? No. How about no? No. Is it no? No. No. Oh. Not sleep time till midnight. At the very least. Because God damn it! Hey, baby. We did it. This entire area cropped. Right, it's ripe for crops now. Jesus Christ. Took forever. And we're doing 2 of these, by the way. This is only the first one. So, this is gonna get worse. Yeah, over there, too. But for now, this is what we have. And also, I'm going to start transferring some of this dirt over. I forgot I have a bunch of sheep down there. It's because I used those for the ancient city. You see how nice this looks, though? Like, this looks genuinely really nice. Right, and I'm not even completely done with it yet. Like, I'm gonna add like a wall around the entire perimeter of it, and it's gonna look really nice. And to that edge over there by the where the animal pets are gonna be. So it's gonna look pretty nice when we're all done, all said and done. That being said, I wonder if these copper golems have made any progress. Are they actually doing anything? Because I feel like they're taking forever and they're not actually making any progress on it. I don't know if they would, if I just leave them to their own devices or what, but it just feels like they haven't been doing anything, really. That's what it feels like. I'm not saying they are useless, I'm just saying it feels like they are. I low-key might head down to the ancient city and just mine a bunch of skulk. Because my hoe's low on durability. And it'd be nice to get a lot of XP. Because I'm thinking about working on my enchantment area next. Perhaps. Yeah. Yeah, that's really it. Put all this back And, oh, I have Fortune 3 in this pickaxe. I mean, there's definitely stuff I can mine with this by accident, but I'd say for the most part, I shouldn't really have to worry about that. That being said, I am gonna mine this really quick. Or try to. It does interest me, though. How much sugarcane am I gonna get from my 2 big plots when they're all complete? This is already a pretty decent sized plot of sugarcane, so I just wonder, you know, if I make this entire area sugarcane, how's that gonna work out? Guys, like, I'm so fucking tired. It's like, I've done a good amount. I'm really happy with what I've gotten done. It's just like, I'm so tired because I have to stay up till midnight to pick up my girlfriend. It almost makes me not want to go to class tomorrow. I don't really have to, because there's no lab this week. So, I wouldn't really be missing out on too much by not going. I would just have to actually do a little bit of studying on my own, which is fine. But, I don't know. I'm thinking about just not going. So, I didn't have enough space last time to put all those crops out. Now I have too much space. I am again going to use my pickaxe here. I really wish I had it on a I really wish I had this on something other than a pickaxe, because I could very well easily mine this stone by accident. It wouldn't be very hard, believe me. I don't really want to do that. But hey, at the very least, there isn't that much to mine too. So, even if I did mess up once, it's not a big deal. The next time I harvest all these crops is probably going to be when I have a Fortune 3 hoe by that point. So, it's no big deal. I like that Fortune 3 gives you more crops, I do. I just wish that there was something that would replant it, you know? Granted, it would be kind of annoying for crops like these, because you're not really wanting to replant them like this, I would assume. Unless you're crazy. But, I mean, it's not that hard to just counteract by just not breaking it with this. My inventory is already almost full too, which is really funny. I don't really have an idea for what or how I can do this yet. I think I'm just going to continue breaking all the crops, and then we'll see where we go from there. So, just to be clear, I have ideas currently for 4 towns slash cities slash settlements, or whatever you want to call them. So, for Port Precious, that's probably going to be the first one I work on, because I have crops already. But Port Precious is going to be like farming and fishing. So, farming currently is the biggest industry that's going to be there. But in the future, when I make a guardian farm, I'll have a lot of extra fish, and I can sell that fish. Plus, boats for emeralds is actually not a bad trade at all. It's like 5 wood for an emerald, which is actually cheaper and generally better than the, what's it called trade? I can't remember. The stick trade by Fletcher's, you know, that one's great too. In fact, we'll get to that in a minute. There's another town I'll have that specializes in Fletcher's too, but Fletcher's have other stuff as well. But that boat trade is a little inconvenient because you can't stack boats. But the fishing one is mainly it, because you can trade like raw cod and raw salmon, I think, for emeralds, or maybe it's just cod. Either way, it's still gonna be, I'm gonna be making bank off of fish. because I'm not gonna eat that fish. I'll have much better food sources by then. Better to, you know, associate myself with that type of food. Although fish is a good food source in this game. Really, there's a lot of good food sources in this game. Not great, but a lot of good ones. And I would say that bread, fish, they're all good forms of food in this game. Anyways, so Port Precious is going to be like fishing and farming. Then I want to have Cleo's Kingdom. I wanted to name something after my cat. So Cleo's Kingdom. Well, Port Precious is actually named after one of my cats too. But Cleo's Kingdom is going to be armorers, blacksmith, basically weapons, equipment, villagers, and enchantments. Equipment and enchantments. So there's going to be a lot of librarians, there's going to be a lot of armorers, and there's going to be a lot of toolsmiths. Now, I won't really need the tools. It's mainly just the iron trade plus to have them in case I need them. Also, it fits in with like the medieval theme I'm going to go for. Also, kind of like the magic, you know. I feel like it all ties together very nicely. And I kind of have an idea of where it could be made. There's a few ridges over. There's a nice spot that I'm thinking of. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Cleo's Kingdom. It sounds good too. It rolls off the tongue nicely. Cleo's Kingdom, you know? It's like I think of that and I just think of like big castle gates on it and stuff. You know? Maybe not that specifically, but you know. I think I wanted to separate, since I have a lot of each to plant. I think it won't probably fill up this entire space, but I want to separate these out into like different things. I don't know if this stuff over there is going to grow over time. So I think I'm just going to make this top layer. It's probably just going to be this one. That's all I need. Probably just make this entire top layer potatoes. And I didn't miss anything either. Any spot that might be damaged is purely, oh my god, get away. Any top spot that's damaged is probably because of animals stepping on it, because they tend to do that. This is also kind of a reason why I like Bedrock a little more than Java. I'm just holding it down and it is placing these items so much faster. On Java, this would be a nightmare. I wouldn't even consider farming anything like this, like in Java, unless I had an auto clicker mod or something. Because it would take so long. Because I could hold it down in Java, but it wouldn't be placing nearly as fast. I don't know what the code is. I don't know how or why the code's different, but it just is. I think Minecraft could definitely benefit from like an economy update or a farming update. Maybe villagers will sell, maybe if they add like a small seasons feature, then maybe certain crops will sell more when they're in season because they're in higher demand. Maybe they'll be a little bit cheaper to trade or something. Good work. You know, Minecraft doesn't really like to add things that would fundamentally change the world, because they want to have things be added that would only change the world if the player interacts with them. You know, they don't want stuff happening without the players knowing of it. But seasons in Minecraft could work so well in just visual department changes. Like imagine if it was a fall season, right? And you could see extra leaves blowing off of trees more than usual, and then you also get to see like different colors of leaves. Or they could just add a fall biome, I guess. Like there's potential, guys. There is potential. But the seasons don't even need to be that crazy. Maybe just small changes in gameplay if you want to make any changes. Not like they want to, but if they did, they can make very small ones that would affect the game, like crops and stuff. Like I was saying before, the crop price fluctuations. Like maybe in each season, you don't even have to add any new crops. Maybe in spring, potatoes are, instead of 26 potatoes for emeralds, maybe it's like 22 or 21. So you can get exactly 3 emeralds per stack instead of just 2, which is a lot better. Or in like summer, maybe wheat's worth more because the price is reduced. Because farmers are also growing that too. I don't know. I'm so tired. I might hop on Plants vs Zombies because there's a lot of like micromanaging in that game, and it'd be good to keep my brain busy because I don't really want to go to sleep yet. You know, I don't really know what my girlfriend wants for Christmas. Obviously, I mean, I have a list, but I mean, some of the stuff on there I'd like to get her, but I just can't afford it, like an Xbox. Plus, Xbox is kind of going down the shitter right now, so it probably wouldn't be a good idea to invest in one, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. Like, how did iZombie... Oh, that actually went very... I didn't know what you were saying. iZombie actually went quite well today. I ended up getting that 10 streak on Endless. I was running out of sun at the end, but I did it. You know, I don't know how some people can actually do that, man. Get, like, higher than that. It just seems so unreal that people can actually get that far in iZombie. iZombie is kind of hard. People probably memorize, like, all the types of levels. Because there's... I had a level... Okay, this pig's not gonna die now. You know, can you just fuck off? There's a level on iZombie I got that had, like, 10 starfruits. That all sucked because starfruit is disgustingly overpowered when you have a lot of them out at once. And because obviously I was a zombies, it just made everything a lot harder. Granted, it was mainly just starfruits, and there wasn't as many as I would probably put. Because obviously if there was, I don't think there would be anything I could do. Unless I spammed football zombies. That wouldn't really work, because I didn't have enough sun for that. Either way, I figured it out. I beat iZombie. That's that. Officially got 1 hour left. Also, I missed potato over there. That's tough, but whatever. You know, I think this will be the world. This will be the world where I kind of ditch the line crops. Yes, it might look a little bit prettier depending on what kind of fields you have, but I just think right now I have a lot of ideas for this world and I want to actually do all of them. So I think if I just, instead of focusing so much on making my crops look like maybe slightly better, focus on actually like getting them down and growing them. Also, at this rate, this farm is gonna, like, I'm gonna make a second one of these, right? One of them specifically for like more potatoes or whatever. But I'm gonna have so many crops by that point already. It's gonna be crazy. Also, I've said this before, I'll say it again, but I just love how vibrant visuals is still. I like how you can actually still see in the darkness in vibrant visuals, but it still feels dark, you know? Like the stars and everything feel more vibrant, like the name suggests. But it also still feels like bright enough to see. But you can still kind of see like the glare effect and everything. Makes it pretty. Like, 'cause I hate other shader packs in Minecraft where they make the game so fucking dark at night that you literally can't do anything. And torches barely do anything. But in this one, it's like you can see the torches, you know? They actually make like a good amount of light. And not like 2 blocks of light around it. It's like they turn torches into a magma block level emitting light. Just crazy. But dude, this is like, I underestimated how much this would be. And I already knew this was going to be massive. I did feel like this similar, I did a similar field to this on another one of my worlds. It was probably about the same size as this, and that field was enough to produce all the crops I needed for that world. And I'm doing a second one. Granted, I don't know what else I'd do with the land. I mean, I have so much land to work with that the only reason I'm making a farm this big is because I can. And I'll still have space after this. Just the only problem I have with this kind of thing is that at a certain point, I think a lot of my crops, I'm gonna have to wait a long time between harvests because these crops will simply not be ready harvest because I won't be near them so they can grow. Unless I go to the nether a lot, which I think in the nether, since they probably want their crops to grow regardless, so they just kind of time out or estimate how much time has passed and apply that to the carrots or potatoes or whatever, and it grows them. I think. It's a simulation distance. Now, if I could turn my simulation distance up to like 12 chunks, I probably would. Because 12 chunks would be enough for all my crops to grow kind of in the vicinity of my base, which is good. But right now it's currently at like 4 chunks, I think, which is about 64 blocks with 64 blocks. Nothing to scoff at. But if I wanted my crops to grow faster, I would have to. Oh my god, guys, I'm so tired. If I want my crops to grow, I'd have to be standing near them, I think. I say I think because, to be completely honest, I think I'd probably be fine. Okay, I have a good amount of carrots out now. And we got like 3 layers of carrots. Which, granted, there is still so much more stuff to put out, so it makes me want to do another layer of carrots. As a matter of fact, I am going to do another layer. Because I have so many carrots, you know? You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna throw shade at my bosses or anything. But I don't know. This is probably just an every job thing. But I feel like whenever I just feel like I can't work as effectively whenever my bosses are when they're walking around the store and stuff, making sure everything's right. I feel like it gives us like it puts this pressure on me that I don't really need. You know, like today was really chill, kind of. I mean, no, it wasn't. Yesterday was chill. Because there's no one, none of the bosses were there. The owners weren't there, and they're not like super strict, you know. And then when I was hired there, it's like, oh, you take bathroom breaks if you need to. You know, I'm not gonna police when you take your tens. Your lunches matter, but not your tens, which is great. But I feel like whenever he's walking by me and I'm stocking shelves, he always finds something that I'm doing wrong, or he points something out that like, hey, you should be doing this. Or I accidentally do something I wasn't supposed to. This morning we were supposed to save a U-boat of something. I can't remember. It was like some corn and some beans. And I put it out the other day, and it had been on the shelf for like a day or two. It was just sitting on a U-boat. Apparently there was a note, and I think there might have been. I can't remember. It seems very possible that I probably didn't see it because I'm blind. Like, literally, I have glasses. I can't see without them. But I was wearing them, so it's not really an excuse. It's also possible that they were in the hallway and they were moved onto it, and then that note was not transferred with it. Or the person who moved it didn't see it. Because usually anything that's on a U-boat, unless, like, it's very, very clearly marked that it's not supposed to be touched, usually is allowed to be worked out. So I don't really know what was happening there. It's kind of annoying because I genuinely thought I was about to lose my job. I mean, I don't know how important that was. It sounded like it was pretty important the way that they were kind of stressing out about it. And I feel bad because, you know, I made that mistake and I could have probably, I don't even know. He said I was lucky that we got it figured out, which to me insinuates that had it not been figured out the way it did, I don't know if I would still have my job. Fucking might as well not right now though, because after today of working, I have like almost a whole 2 weeks off. Because normally I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, and those 3 days are my days off. But I'm off on Friday, because that's when I'm leaving for Willow Creek to go see my girlfriend's family. That being said, I'll have the next few days off because I have requested non-PTO. I still haven't used pay time off, which is crazy. I don't know. It's like I could have like a whole week of great work, right? I could be being efficient, put stuff on shelves left and right, slinging chocolate checks. That's what I did today. And I feel like all it really takes is just one time for like one of the bosses. I should say bosses because none of the managers do this. Maybe the freight team lead occasionally, but it's usually just like, oh, that was a dumb mistake I made. But all it takes is like them walking around one time, and then it feels like I kind of ruined everything. I think that's more of a me problem though, because I like if I mess up something, I hate making people feel bad. Like it was my girlfriend's birthday yesterday, and it was really fucked up situation is that her grandma also passed away on her birthday, which it's messed up. It's really sad, and I'm sure her grandma was a great person. But coincidentally, she also turned 67 this year, or she would have been 67 had she been alive. And my immature ass, of course, I was with my friends too, so one of them amplified it a little bit, and it made it sound a lot funnier than it really was. And I feel really bad about laughing about it. She chewed me out in the car for it a little bit. Or on the way home. When I brought it up again. And I didn't say this already, but I apologize like profusely. And I feel really bad about it still. In fact, I was actually thinking about it at work today. Another time this kind of thing happened where I couldn't stop thinking about something that happened was a few weeks ago. I was getting out of my truck at a Winco, and I hit someone's car with my truck door. The guy was in his car too, so like he felt his car shake when the door hit it, and he was mad. He was clearly already having a really bad day, and he blew up at me. And then of course I was, college and work, not really a relaxing combination one would say. So obviously, I was like, oh, I'm just tired, man. I'm sorry. There was no damage, to be clear, right? His car was totally fine. But in the heat of the moment, the guy clearly being pissed off already at something else that was going on. I mean, he was chilling in his car, rubbing his forehead in the parking lot of Winco. Obviously, something's wrong. That, in combination with me hitting his car, and he obviously doesn't know that his car is totally fine. He can only take my word for it. Of course, he's gonna get mad. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. I ain't gonna lie. It was rough because I didn't handle it well. And of course, my girlfriend made sure I knew immediately right after the situation happened that I handled it poorly. Which, in retrospect, when I talked to my dad about this, he said that I just didn't need to hear that at that moment. And honestly, he was super right. She brought it up immediately. And I get it's important to point out that yes, I did do that wrong. I handled that situation pretty poorly. But right after it happened, dude, I guess maybe I didn't seem like I was that affected by it, but it really did affect me actually. When I think about it, after everything, after the weeks of school and work just consistently stressing me out, all it would really take to push me over the edge was just a little incident like that. And then being told that I handled it really shittily, even when I knew it was true, it really hurt. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We got into a pretty heated argument in Winco, but it was we were kind of yelling underneath our breaths because we didn't want to attract other attention from other people. But at that point, I eventually told her to because she kept, I don't know, we were arguing, and she was trying to say we should just go home, and obviously I was being stubborn. I was like, no, let's do our shopping, let's get it over with. Obviously that was a bad choice. And eventually, I was on the verge of tears, and I eventually told her to shut the fuck up, which not my proudest moment, I'll say. But then again, immediately being told I did something really bad or handled it really poorly, just not exactly what needed to be said then. Let things cool down a bit, then tell me that when I'm in a bit clearer headspace. But what happened after that is we started driving home because obviously we weren't going to keep doing our shopping. And then around like 5 minutes into the drive, I broke down. That was the first time. The last time I had cried was like a year ago when the stray cat that showed up to our house consistently died because he got into a fight with some other animal. And everything about this, like these last few months have been so stressful. I've never been more stressed in my life, I think, from school and work combined. It's like I have to wake up at 3 or 2 in the morning every morning, and then I also have to get home and immediately go to schoolwork. You know, it's a lot for me. And obviously other people have more on their plate than I do, no doubts about that. But if that's all you're going to bring up when I talk about what I have to deal with, then it just kind of invalidates what I'm going through as well. Because yeah, obviously I'm not doing as bad as someone who's like in poverty and doesn't have a stable house or income, but I'm stressed, man. I'm going through a stressful point in my life. Anyone can be stressed about anything, whether it's short term or long term, and this was long term, and it was building up over time, and it all came out one day. And that happened to be the day that I accidentally hit a guy's car with my door. Of course, it had to be that day. But you know what? It's been a little bit better since then. I'm in the final stretch of this semester. In fact, I just closed the last regular assignment for my Spanish class. So now I don't have any regular assignments left to do. And I'm only realizing now that I'm probably talking to no one because there's only 2 viewers in chat. Maybe someone's listening. And if you are, then I guess thank you for hearing me ramble about my worries and stresses in life. If you're even here. Or if you're even real. You never know. It's just been rough. And honestly, it makes you think. I don't want to be one of those losers that's like stuck in the past with like high school and shit, but it really makes you think how much easier it was back then, you know? High school truly was much easier. Don't take it for granted. If you're still in high school, just enjoy it. Because honestly, it gets worse. Like, it really does. At least in this country, if I was guaranteed to become like a part of a game development team and do that for the rest of my life, then I'd be a lot more happy. I'd be looking forward to everything. But you're not guaranteed the profession you want. You're not going to be guaranteed your dream job. You're not going to be guaranteed you're going to get through college. Hell, you're not going to be guaranteed the payment for it to even assure that you will be able to even afford it in the first place. And that's just how it is. Because everything is money. It all boils down to one thing, money. And people say money can't buy happiness, which I think is complete bullshit. Because if I had $1 trillion, I could easily buy my happiness. And hey, to be honest, if I had $1 trillion, I'm dropping out of school. Well, actually, honestly, you know, it's easy to say that I would just drop out of school if I had like $1 trillion, right? But you know, I don't think I would. 'Cause yeah, $1 trillion is something, sure. But it's like saying if I were to get $1 million, why would I give up something that I like doing? I don't like really studying. Like if I don't have to study math ever again, thank goodness I don't, I am not gonna do it. But willingly, I'm not willingly gonna do it. Of course, I don't have to do math ever again in my life, or at least another college level math class, right? So obviously, I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that math class, because why would I? But like, it's kind of like Minecraft. Like, if I, if I, it's something I love. Programming, something I love. Game development, it's something that I enjoy doing. It's something I can do in my free time and come out of that experience being satisfied with what I've done. You know? So why would I want to give up my opportunity to continue learning that skill and honing it in? You know? Just because I'm a trillionaire doesn't mean I'm gonna just do nothing. No matter how much money I'd have in the world, I'd still play Minecraft. I'd still start this world. I'd still start a new world in the future. If need be. I'd always have stuff like this to fall back to, even if I had $1 trillion. Now, I would definitely quit my job if I had $1 trillion. I think most people would. Not that I don't like working there. It's just most of the reason why I go there is because I'm getting paid to be there. The people are great there. Don't get me wrong, but 99% of people would not work for free. And at that point, I might as well be working for free. Because $16 an hour would not be anything to a trillion. I'd have to work like I'm a billion years to get to that point. And that probably wouldn't even be enough. I'm genuinely so tired. I think I'm gonna hop on. Maybe. I'm just trying to stay awake. I think I did some great work today, though. You know what? Let me go into that copy again. And I'll just kind of show you guys where I want to make everything. And then I'm gonna probably just hop off completely. So this is currently my base. It's not the same, but you know, it's almost that. So I want to build the train system, of course, that goes around my world. So I think what I want to do is I can build the train station like either right here or like right just around this area in general. Cover this cave up, build it like in this plot. I'll have a few things. I'll have 2 tracks. I'll kind of build like the other ones. 3 tracks here. One will go out this direction over to Needle Junction. This one will go out this way towards Cleo's Kingdom. And then there will be one more that could either be 2 on this side or 1 that will go into this cave over here. And then it'll go to the other side of the mountain because this cave is hollow enough, almost, to where I can build a railroad track through it. Okay? I wouldn't need to do much digging. There would be digging, but it wouldn't be much. Right? And then after the digging's done, that's all the digging I have to do. And then I can continue the railroad this way. And get over there. Now my question is, I don't really know what kind of design I want to go for in a railroad. I really don't. I don't have a clue. That's kind of the thing. I may have like, I know I want to keep this railroad design grounded. Let me see if I can make one really quick actually. I don't really want to do one that requires me to use like a lot of oak, a lot of logs, because I'm going to be building a lot of these, and I need to make this design good looking, but also resource efficient, you know? I just think that's kind of a reasonable thing to say, right? And it also needs to work with the environment. It'll probably be it'll look weird, don't get me wrong. It won't be completely straight. It's not gonna be. That's okay. So obviously what we can probably do here is I think I have a sort of idea. Now what if we were to redstone block, powered rail. I think a track like this could look good. Only thing is I don't know if I necessarily like these stairs. I kind of like it a little bit better when it's like this, because it kind of incorporates the design in a bit more. It kind of incorporates the spruce more that I like. Maybe I should flip it. Do like a mostly spruce with like a little oak center. See, I kind of like this. But I can't help but feel like this would look better if I just used like dark oak logs. But the only problem is that dark logs are like they don't really take necessarily like a lot to get doing or do with. It's just like just obviously it looks better. That looks good, you know? But I feel like these are too much. But how can I make it look good? Now here's the thing, trapdoors would maybe look good, but we gotta keep resources in mind too. This is just a really wood heavy design. Not bad, just wood heavy. So we would have to do a lot of grinding to get the materials for this. Now, is this something that I want to see? Is the question. And can I answer that question right now? And to be honest, this is an alright design. It's okay. I think this is I don't know how I would do a curve, but I don't know. I don't think I should worry about it, frankly. At least right now. Just because I should go brush my teeth or whatever. You know, looking at this in retrospect, I probably could have made this side of the mountain like my base. Because this is a pretty mountain. But I think, ultimately, I think where I chose, that inlet, that's super flat, is just such a good spot. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for